I'm going to try another scratchy voice video today, but a couple of weeks ago I had an argument with a gal, well, not an argument, but a disagreement on YouTube about the Ruger Bearcat that like you see in front of you, the lower one. I said I wouldn't purchase one, and it kind of offended her. And I happen to own one because I inherited it, but I wouldn't purchase a new one. So I'm going to take this opportunity to look at both the Ruger Single 6 and the Ruger Bearcat just to see why I wouldn't buy one. And so let's start with the Bearcat. Well, in fact, let's start with the Single 6. You can see it's a fairly good sized gun, especially when you compare it to the Bearcat. If I pull out a single action army, well, here I got one right here. We'll just place it over it so you can kind of see my big mitt in the way. The grips are actually very similar in size. The frame is similar in size. Of course, the cylinder is smaller because it's 22 compared to the 45 Colt, but it also has the Colt style grips, whereas the Bearcat has the more of a Remington style grip. But anyway, size difference aside, that's the main difference between the two guns that you first see. The Bearcat, however, internally is quite a bit different. It's much more like the single action army than the Single 6 is. In that manner, I'll show you. A single action army has 4 clicks when you cock it. The first click would be the safety notch. This one skips that notch, and it would be about right there. It does not have that. This one instead goes straight to half cock. On half cock, it falls into the half cock sear. That's that first click here, and now our cylinder is free to spin in one direction. That facilitates opening the gate and ejecting cartridges, loading, and you can load all 6 on this, as this has a transfer bar in there. And that transfer bar, if I pull the trigger, you watch, moves up just a slight amount. That engages the firing pin, allows the gun to fire. Now, simple sights mounted right in the frame, just a slot in the frame, and it comes in 22 caliber. It shoots 22 long rifle, 22 longs, 22 shorts, but not 22 Magnum. So it's a relatively simple firearm, but nonetheless a really good one. The other thing it has is these really cool roll marks. I'll go ahead and put it on half cock, and we can spin it around and take a quick look. They have a couple of Bearcats actually stamped right into the cylinder. There comes one, and of course Ruger Bearcat. But let's go on to the Single 6. This is a new model Single 6. Of course, this is in stainless, whereas that is in blued. Now the blued Single 6, I believe, has a cast frame, has steel barrel cast frame. The stainless steel, of course, is all stainless steel. And to be fair, that is one difference between the blued models. And the stainless models, of course, they're both stainless. The Single 6, of course, also comes with, as you can see in the corner, this unfluted cylinder, which is 22 Magnum, 22 Winchester Mag printed right on it. Very easy to tell the difference, as this one is unfluted, and then the one that I have in the Revolver is fluted. That's your 22 long rifle. Sorry, I bumped the camera. Internally, these are a little more complicated. It only has, now we had 3 clicks compared to 4. This one only has 1, 2. And that second click is not a half cock. This gun does, see, if I let go, it won't stop. It does not have a half cock. That click is simply your bolt falling down, getting ready to fall into place on the cylinder. The way you load and unload this gun, you simply open the loading gate, and that frees the cylinder, drops the bolt down out of the way, cylinder's free to spin. You can eject your cartridges, and then when you close the cylinder, locks right up, falls right back into place, and you're ready to fire. Again, you can load all 6 on this, unlike a single action army where you'd want to leave one cylinder open, because there's the transfer bar you can see in there again. And again, when I pull the trigger, that transfer bar moves up just enough the hammer can engage it, strike the firing pin, fire the gun. Good adjustable sights. The rear sights are adjustable both windage and elevation. A little modern for some people's tastes, but this gun is a plinker, and I'll take that concession any day. Now, aside from the internal differences, the size differences, the roll mark, and then of course the single 6 being able to shoot 22 mag as well. This is my little pouch. I just keep my cylinder in. It's identified as 22 mag on it. There isn't any much more difference between them, and that includes the price. I don't quite understand why Ruger charges, believe it or not, nearly the same price for the Bearcat as it does the single 6. You don't get the extra cylinder. You go down in size. Some people might prefer that small size. It's actually a little bit small for my hands, and I don't have very big hands. You can see it pretty much disappears in my hand. I've never shot this gun because it came to me as a new unfired gun, and I still haven't fired it. So I can't tell you how good it is. I'm sure it's accurate enough. This single 6 is very accurate with Magnum loads. The 22 long rifles, it's not quite as accurate because the barrel is sized for 22 mag rather than 22 long rifle. But still a wonderful plinker and accurate enough for me. So, as I said, in blued, the Bearcat is all steel like this one is, and in a blued version of the single 6, it comes with the cast frame. However, it's still a wonderful firearm. I haven't heard anything bad about them. But the blued version, MSRP, is $629 on the single 6. The Bearcat is actually $10 more at $639. Doesn't include the sights, doesn't include a spare cylinder, but for some reason Ruger has decided that it's worth $10 more. In the stainless steel version, the Bearcat is $689, just shy of $700 for a little 22 plinker. The single 6, like the one that's set in front of you in stainless steel, is $699, only $10 more. So for $10 you get a proper timed 22 mag cylinder, the adjustable sights, granted a little larger size. Now these grips, of course, are aftermarket. They're Ruger grips, but they're aftermarket. And the only other work I've done to this is I did put a new trigger return spring on it, so that lightens up the pull considerably. Took about 2 pounds off the trigger pull. Now it's just perfect for me. I like a lighter trigger. But that is why I would not purchase a Bearcat new from a dealer. They're simply too expensive. They're competing with their own single 6 and have completely outpriced themselves, in my opinion, on the Bearcat. Or maybe you guys might know something more than I don't know about the Bearcat. Why the higher price, or I would call it higher because it's simply less gun for for the same amount of money. And in the case of the blued version, of course, it is $10 more MSRP. Of course, you can, at your local shop, I'm sure you can get them quite a bit cheaper. But anyway, there's a fast look at the two. Just my thoughts on the Bearcat and the single six. I prefer the single six by far, for obvious reasons. I'm a little biased towards it, but maybe you know something I don't on the Bearcat. But anyway, thanks for watching.